Hello and welcome to the Early Years Staff Meeting Podcast with Sarah, Keely and Steph, the place where you can listen, learn and laugh with us about all things early years.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
We're back.
We're back with our
Christmas
edition.
episode.
Probably sing It's Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not actually quite Christmas
No,
yet,
we're still in November technically when we're recording this.
When you work in a school, it is Christmas in November, isn't it? Because you have to start preparing.
We do. Well, we had a panto today. I feel like it's Christmas, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's officially here.
So today, let's tell you what we've got today. So we've got a little celebration to start off with, and then a staff voice about all things Christmas. And then our main agenda is a skills Christmas this Christmas.
It sounds a bit like Scroogey, doesn't it? We're having a skills-based Christmas this year.
Yes, no fun whatsoever. And then we want to talk about something that we have created for you all, and some things that we've been making in school. And then going on to our mindful moment, which is about visualisation, going to your happy place. And then ending off with our call to arms.
Fantastic.
There we go. Okay. So, just want to our little celebration. I know I can't quite believe it.
Well, no, we've hit the big time.
Have we hit the big time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Who would have thought this time last year?
We weren't even doing the podcast then, were we?
It was an idea, wasn't it?
It was an idea.
And here we are, 1,000 downloads later.
I know, it's amazing. Just want to say a huge thank you to anyone who's listened to us.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank
you so much.
It just means the world because it's our little dream.
It's very surreal.
It is very surreal. And it does mean like the world to us because it was our little idea that we just we had, and we laughed about it, didn't we, at the beginning, and we used to talk about it, and then one day we just went for it.
Made it happen.
We made it happen, and we
look at us now.
Look at us now. We love it. Absolutely love it. It's taught us a lot.
Yeah, like it's taught us a lot technically as well as sort of creatively.
And it just goes to show that teachers can turn their hand to anything. We're very skilled individuals.
We we play ourselves down. I think we play our skills down, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
We do. But we have
so
transferable
huge
skills.
Thank you to everybody who's listened. If you haven't followed us, then click follow on wherever you're listening to your podcast so you can get our episode when they come out.
Freshly delivered.
Exactly. Okay, are you ready? Staff voice. Okay, this week's staff voice is all about Christmas. So we just had a little think, didn't we, over our careers about Christmas is quite a stressful period in school.
Yeah, and there are lovely, lovely things about this time of year working with children. Obviously, we've got the magic and the joy.
The awe and wonder of Christmas, their first of everything at Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
For like nursery children, it's their first year, isn't it, of understanding what Christmas is.
Yeah, and, all the magical things and all the magical routines and things that, we can do that are just lovely. And obviously it's fun. We've got a long holiday coming up, longish holiday coming up. So we're all gearing towards that.
Yeah.
And it's, it is a magical time of year.
But dun dun dun. It's also a very stressful time of year because there's a lot of responsibility on adults to keep that magic, isn't there, for children? Mm-hmm. We feel very responsible that if it's not magical in school, then that they will be scarred for life. So keeping that awe and wonder is very stressful.
Not to mention all of the other stresses that come up. Just
being a teacher or a practitioner, it's
expectations of Christmas productions and display boards and Christmas cards and
crafts and all of it.
Learning carols for a carol service and
it's just very stressful.
It never ends.
It never ends, and the list just gets bigger and bigger. But we just had a little talk, didn't we, about some of the things,
some of the sort of the more
memorable, stressful moments that have happened in our careers. So I think the one I had the most stress about on my list here is the nativity.
The nativity. I mean, yeah.
So it ranges from children being put in the wrong costumes.
Yep, did that last year.
Yeah. You get so many bags in with so many names, and they've all got 10 of the same angel from Tesco.
Have they all got their names on though?
Oh, actually, no. Sorry, no, they don't. No, they don't.
There'll be a couple of parents that have read the, 5 emails that you've sent saying, please name everything.
Yeah.
And the rest will just think, oh no, that teacher will remember my child's costume.
Exactly. And they've all got the same angel costume from Tesco.
Yeah.
And it happens, you accidentally put the wrong costume on the wrong child, and it's not till afterwards when the parent comes to you very upset that they're not in the right costume. But, it happens. Getting however many children you have in your setting in costume takes a long time with very little staff.
Yeah. Under a time pressure, time constraints.
Exactly, and it's very hot and the children are getting fussy and so that's like a top 10. So this is one of my most memorable moments. So a parent had spent a very long time creating this king costume. It was elaborate. The cloak, the fur around the cape, the elaborate king's hat, and even the little box that contained myrrh that had myrrh on it spelt wrong.
Like Ollie Murs.
Myrrh. And I didn't realise, but the box opened. So on stage, our class stood up to sing, and I looked over and saw said child tucking in to some chocolate coins from his box, and there was chocolate on him, on the 2 angels next to him who were wearing lovely pure white clothes, and they had chocolate all over them. Very stressful in front of the whole audience that's being filmed.
You just have to.
I just
have to roll with it. But
just laughed.
Why did he have chocolate gold in his box if it was myrrh?
I don't know.
It should have been gold.
That could have been spelt easier as well. I don't know why it was, but it was. You always get the children having a fight, don't you? Little fisticuffs on the stage.
Like you're in my way, or you're
stealing my moment, my light.
You also had sometimes a child will stand in front of the other child, and the other child will start crying.
Yeah.
And then you're trying your best to get them to sort of rein it in just for their moment, but no, the moment's gone.
No, and then on to the other spectrum is falling asleep. Children, it's so warm in there.
Boring.
They're so bored. They fall asleep and you're sort of having to wake them.
Yeah.
Or whisk them away. Another thing about costumes, we banned star costumes a few years ago, purely because children were standing there with their arms out in their star costumes for long periods of time, which obviously could be
torture.
Torture
method, isn't it?
And also, because their arms were outstretched, they were leaning over and poking children's eyes out, putting fingers up noses. Someone got their finger bitten by another child. Yeah,
they needed to come with a risk assessment.
They did, yeah.
That reminds me of the hooks, the shepherd's crooks.
Oh my goodness,
shepherd's crooks.
Yeah.
And
some lambs being thrown across.
Yeah, and sort of children's being sort of hooked from across the stage. It should come with
costumes, they always come with see-through costumes as well.
Oh, awkward.
Awkward, very awkward. Yeah. And last but not least, PSA providing refreshments of the alcoholic variety.
I mean, does that even happen anymore?
I don't think it does.
From a few years ago?
This is from the beginning of my career. I'd like to say 13 years ago. It was a bit more fun and free. And the mulled wine was being shared.
Was it going down well?
A little too well.
Yeah.
Some parents got a little sloshed and came to pick up their children and they were slurring their
Oh
words.
no.
It was quite embarrassing, but very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a long time ago. It wouldn't happen in today's culture, would it? No. But yeah, that is nativity disaster. That's just the stress of getting children to perform when they're not developmentally ready.
It almost feels like there should be an alternative.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Wonder if anyone's thought of
Coming on to that later.
Yeah, maybe.
Father Christmas coming in.
Yeah.
Also stressful, lovely, but also can be stressful. Yeah. Children screaming at dressed up characters.
Yeah.
Children getting a little bit overexcited and touching Father Christmas inappropriately, pulling his beard off and touching his tummy and all sorts of weird and wonderful things with Father Christmas.
I also had a friend of mine that was Father Christmas one year, and like his own children didn't know that it was him.
He was that good at disguise.
And also like some years where you can't get a Father Christmas to come, so you have to have like a really sad alternative, like the elves have come and it's just one of the mums dressed up as an elf and it's so obvious.
Yeah.
But at my old setting, we used to have the real Father Christmas. He was magical. He was the real Father Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, the real one.
How did you manage to get him?
He just liked our school, and he used to come, and he was completely magical.
Yeah, and they're like gems, aren't they? When you find someone like that.
Yeah.
But it's very few and far between.
I think this one used to grow his beard throughout. He used to start in like September.
No.
Yeah, it was the real Father
My goodness.
Christmas.
Method acting, that is. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Method acting. And my last stress, which is a more modern thing, and you might be able, you're going to have this stress, aren't you?
Yeah.
Is elf on a shelf.
Yeah.
My goodness. It started off quite good before it became very commercialised.
Yeah.
And it was very magical, and the children did behave because, we used to say, he's watching you, so you better behave just for the last 3 weeks of term.
Just bribery.
Bribery and corruption. But my goodness, it's gone to a new level now, hasn't it? Commercial central.
Tell me about it. I feel like we need a little disclaimer here that, is it over 18s that listen? Because we don't want to reveal any trade secrets.
No, we don't. No, I think it is over 18s that listen. But yes, Elf on a Shelf, this year I am not doing out of protest.
Okay.
Because it's just thinking of the things to do.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be naughty, which isn't modelling good behaviour in my opinion.
No.
And then it's sort of double standards, because then they're watching to make sure that the children are behaving, but they're not, and that's okay.
It's the whole debate, isn't it, about using sort of Santa and the elves as bribery for children to behave.
Yeah.
It is.
And it always happens.
We all do it. It gets to July, and I just have to start using it with my own children.
And it's also, you've come in late, and you look up and go, oh, that bloody elf is still in the same place. I've got to move it.
Yeah.
And you're quickly fumbling around, and you don't want to put it at their level, because you know they're going to touch it, and the rule is they can't touch it. And then you'll have to think of some way to make it magic again.
And someone will touch it.
Someone will touch it, like throwing things at it, like it's, trying to knock it down, like it's Skittles. So I am banning Elf on a Shelf this year.
I feel the pain. I'm not surprised. That's all I'm going to say on the matter, because it causes me nothing but stress from a personal aspect.
Yes.
So there we go.
Right. Moving on. Skills at Christmas. Okay.
So what do we mean by a skills-based Christmas? Because it just sounds so
dull. Skills-based Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Sounds like the fun police have taken all the fun out of Christmas, but on the contrary.
No. So we this Christmas, we wanted to take a lot of that stress out as much as possible, because we all have stresses as well as our job. So Christmas is stressful at home as well as for our job. So we wanted to try and make it easier. So we had got our heads together, didn't we, Steph?
We did.
And we have created...
We've produced an electronic guide.
We have.
It's a book. I feel like we're authors now.
Can we add that to our list?
It's a very short book.
No, it's 26 pages.
Well, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose.
26 pages. So
high quality ideas.
It is. So we do talk about the nativity, don't we? And ways that you can make it not so forced and pressurised, that you can still have the magic of performing, but in a more child-centred and friendly way.
Making it meaningful, still allowing, those connections with home and things like that, but suggestions of how to make it just a little bit more friendly
and developmentally appropriate. We're not forcing children to perform against their will.
Yeah.
And adults.
Yeah, it's more the adults.
It is more the adults. And we also talk about crafts, because that is also another thing that's very forced, isn't it?
I mean, we have talked about that in previous podcasts.
When we've talked about Mother's Day, didn't we?
Yeah, and how, it's that teaching the skills, giving the children skills to produce something rather than producing carbon copies of the same art activity.
The Father Christmas handprint with the beard. We've
all been there. We've all done it. I remember previous years I've had checklists of who's made this, who's made that. But you do have to sometimes it just takes that moment, doesn't it, to just say, right, who are we doing this for? What does it mean to the children? So in our guide, we've just sort of come up with some alternative activities that you could do. Yeah.
So you can get this guide if you go to our Instagram page. If you click on the link, it will at the very top it will say a very merry early years Christmas guide. You can click on that and it will take you to the website called Buy Me a Coffee, which is a supporters page. So if you'd like to purchase that, you can, and it's the grand total of £3.
£3 to save your Christmas.
Yeah, it's a pack of Christmas cards. There you go. So don't buy Christmas cards. Go and have a look at our guide.
So within the guide, you will find different ideas. We sort of cover different topics that might come up. So we do cover sort of crafts and some alternatives that you can do with different crafts. We cover nativities. And again, as we've already talked about, some alternatives.
We talk about cooking. And making that very much on the skills.
And there's a recipe, isn't there, that you can print off and actually put straight into your provision.
Yeah. So you can make Christmas cake, but it's all skills based, and it's using reading for purpose as well.
I'm going to have a go at that.
And on that note, it is using one of those mini bean tins that have a ring pull.
Yeah.
So you take the top of the ring pull off, throw that away, and then turn it upside down, and with your tin opener, take the bottom off, and then turn it back over. So where you've got the ring pull, you have that little lip, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
So you put the bottom in there, and you've got like a removable, so you can push the cake up. Amazing. So you can reuse the tin.
Yeah.
For the next child. Yeah. So I'm going to do a post on that anyway to just show children. Show children and adults. Like a little hack there, but that's all ready to go in the guide. So is talking about just being mindful that it is tricky. Christmas is a tricky time. It's an emotive time for people.
So being sort of aware that not everybody celebrates Christmas as well, and that there are other celebrations that happen at this time, and it's if they're relevant to your setting, to talk about different celebrations as well. But yes, sort of, circumstances are different for everybody, and not all children will be looking forward to spending Christmas at home. No. Not all children will be getting presents. So it's just being mindful of that and and we have a section on how ways that you can kind of bring those pockets of joy into the setting at this time, just to make it, a magical moment for everybody.
Without the forced joy.
Yeah. Forced fun. No forced fun. Like genuine moments.
Genuine moments.
Awe and wonder.
Wow moments. Yeah. So the other thing we're going to be doing this year is making Advent better as well, because that tends to be geared to the sweets, children getting upset because they haven't got one, and that's another sort of stressful aspect of the Christmas period. So on our socials, Instagram, we'll be posting daily an Advent activity you could do that is sort of linked to core provision or linked to hygge. I have to say it like that, hygge, or like a more skills based as well. So you can follow along with us as we do it every day. So you can,
or you could buy the guide.
And you'll get the full.
You can print it out and it's ready to go, isn't it? So you can just print it, laminate it, pop it in your Advent calendar if you have one. Or alternatively,
you can make one. So the little elves and I have been busy, aka the children, have been busy creating our own Advent calendar. So you can check that out on Instagram, because I'll be posting all about that as well. It
looks lovely.
Yeah.
It looks really lovely.
It's very rustic. I'm going to put that out there.
No, but it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I didn't attempt it in nursery. Why? You're saying, why didn't you attempt to hand sew? We're a bit behind on our sewing provision, I think, in nursery. We need to refine the skills, I think, and actually.
And we talk about Advent in the guide as well, so there's lots of tips in there to help you. But follow along on Instagram to follow along with us in Advent this year. So that's really exciting.
Sort of count down the days with us. We'll be counting down because it's a long old half term.
It is.
We're going to get plenty of Advent because we're here till nearly Christmas.
I know. Shocking. Anyway, longer at the other end.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready? Go to our happy place.
Let's go. So I was feeling a bit blue this week. I'm feeling a bit sad. I don't know why. I just think it's the weather.
Yeah.
The pressures.
It's got
of what's
cold,
to
hasn't
come.
it? Yeah, anxiety.
And I just think it's that we're sort of midway through a very, very long half term. So I did a little bit of my Balance app that I've talked about before. I have talked about it in the podcast. I downloaded this app called Balance.
We'll put a link in again. We did last time we mentioned it.
It's free for a year, so I'm still on my first year, but it's sort of a meditation app. And when I'm feeling a bit sad, I know that I have to do something about it. So I'm like, right, okay, let's go to let's do the meditation in the morning. So I did one the other day, and it was all about you can actually put your mood. So I put my mood was feeling sad, and it sort of makes a meditation that's sort of tailor made to your mood that day or whatever. It's really, really good.
Is it an NHS one?
I don't know. It's not an NHS one, I don't think, but I don't know where I found it somewhere. It may have been recommended on an NHS website or something. So I'm not sure if it is, but it is really, really good. So do check it out, but you do just have to sign up for it, but you just have to make sure that if you don't want to sort of then pay for it for another year,
you have to cancel it.
It is so good. So they've kind of they've kind of hooked me in, because maybe I will pay for it afterwards. But this technique for being sad was all about visualization, and it was just remembering a time, the last time you were happy. And it could be the smallest thing, you could have just laughed at a joke that someone told you, or you could have noticed the frost on the windscreen this morning, how beautiful it looked before you scraped it off, or anything at all. Could have been something at school. There's always joy to be found with the children. Has someone really made you proud today? Has someone made progress with something? So it's just like the last time you felt happy, and it's just about visualizing that. So it's just about sort of just meditating for a moment, remembering what happened, remembering how that moment made you feel, just to bring a little bit of joy. And I think it's just remembering that it's normal to feel up and down, and it does pass, but there's always something positive. There's always something to be grateful for.
Of course there is. Yeah.
So it's just about finding that sort of happy moment and going to your happy place and just reliving that moment when you're feeling sad.
Yeah.
So maybe a technique that if any of you are feeling like I
pre-Christmas blues.
Yeah. It's normally the January blues, isn't it? But
it is, yeah. But it's that anticipation of something.
Yeah.
Something big is about to happen, isn't it? And it is. Christmas is big.
And I almost feel like it's a bit of I think we talked about this maybe last week, like it's like a hibernation time at the moment where it's colder. So we feel just that need to sort of hunker down, don't you? And I think it then makes coming to work even more of a challenge. But just keep using my visualization. So you may like to try that, listeners.
What's my happy place? Probably just thinking of my own children, and just so we saw Father Christmas this weekend, and that was so magical. My youngest son didn't have a clue, but my middle child, it was that time, that awe and first one, that awe and wonder of Father Christmas, where he didn't cry and freak out, and he actually spoke to him.
Aww.
And it was really, I actually did cry. I was like, ooh. And that is the magical part of Christmas. When it goes right like that, that does give you like the tingly feeling. But that's probably my recent really happy place.
Aww.
Yeah.
Right, so
okay, call to arms. So there is going to be a lot happening on Instagram on our the early years staff meeting page. So please follow us, check us out. We'd love to hear some feedback. Sometimes it just feels like we're putting things into the ether and we don't get anything back. Like we want it to be for you. What helps you?
If anyone does anything that we sort of suggest, or they have another idea or anything like that, or anything that we could talk about, please do sort of interact with us. Yeah,
and like if you do make your own advent calendar, we'd love to see them, or we'd love to hear about how you got on with any of the activities. Yeah, we're desperate to create our own little community, aren't we? We want to be able to give, but give it in the right way, and we want to be helpful to people. So please, we'd love your feedback. All feedback, positive, negative, is appreciated. Please be kind to us, though.
I mean, we're teachers, so we're used to negative feedback. It's fine.
We like the sandwich, don't we? Positive, negative, positive.
We
in a sandwich.
Very packed in a nice little packed lunch. But, let's face it, as teachers, we're constantly critiqued.
Yes.
on our,
on how we're doing.
On our performance. So it's fine. We're used to it.
You're doing really well, but
we
get that a lot. So, we'd love to hear from you. Obviously, check out our Buy Me a Coffee page. You can, if you really want to support us, you can give a donation, because it does cost us to keep putting this out. So, it would be lovely if anyone wants to support us.
The costs.
If anyone wants to support us in that way, that would be amazing.
Or if you want to buy the guide, because it's only £3.
It is.
A very merry early years Christmas. It's almost like a magazine, I would describe it as. It's like got lots of things in there for you to just take up some of the stress. But I think now would be a good time to do it in time for
the Christmas.
Time for Christmas.
And then watch this space, because we have more ideas for more content to go on there, don't we?
Yeah.
So
we're sort of we're
free
learners.
and paid. We're
learners when it comes to the whole social media thing. And so, we are just trying to do more things, but I think we're going to probably have a little New Year's.
We are.
A
little revamp.
Reinvigoration.
We've got some ideas, but, and And we've got some guests lined up, haven't we?
We have actually got some guests lined up, and I think that's our sort of 2024. That's where we're going to go.
Yeah.
More guests,
Yeah.
more social media content to sort of help people out with ideas.
But we want this. We do this because we want to help our industry, our early years industry, because it is on its knees. We want to be as helpful as possible. So yeah. Give us feedback, but be kind.
And if we don't speak to you again, have a very merry
Christmas.
Early years,
yeah,
and otherwise Christmas.
Okay, see you soon, guys.
See you soon. Bye.